Welcome to the 6th ever episode of the We Are All Idiots podcast, where it is a podcast about primarily video games, but a lot of pop culture. Sometimes movies is thrown in, sometimes books are thrown in. Anime is really the second kind of topic, but mostly it's video games. Today I am joined by the Purple Crew, and that includes our Nintendo idiot Mikey McLaughlin.
Hello, everybody. This is brought to you by Cocoa Flakes.
No, it's not. No,
Oh.
it is not.
Oh, okay.
And our FPS idiot, Aaron Smith.
I'm just so done.
You, me both. And our JRPG idiot, Anthony Trujillo.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you for being normal.
No problem.
You just know he's going to counteract that, Jeremiah. The moment you said that, now it's going to get worse.
I didn't even think of that. You got a point there. Anyway, so this is the 6th ever episode. Usually we have 5 people, but Jason is not here with us. Anybody know where Jason is?
Oh, pick me. Oh, I know where Jason is. Pick me.
Can somebody send a meme to Mikey of me slapping him across the face? Because I'm about ready to reach through the screen and do it myself.
Oh. Well, okay, everybody, so now, as we know, Jason gets into a lot of weird situations, right? So, actually, did you know that Jason is on a movie date with Anthony right now? They're seeing Spectre number 7. And now, before we make this even weirder, we're just going to say they are actually on planet Jupiter right now. They are in outer space, testing this new movie program they have where you fly to Jupiter to see a movie. The movie is actually projected on Jupiter. It is the world's...
I'm going to stop you right there.
Oh, but
I'm going to stop you right there.
But it's
the amount of brain cells I just lost are more than Jupiter can actually hold life for.
I think Aaron's a little jealous because he couldn't go because Anthony put Jason over him.
I'm just so done.
So that is where Jason...
This is just furthering the title. Our title of the podcast, We Are All Idiots. Because it's true. We are all idiots.
Yay!
Especially Mikey.
Yay! I'm the best idiot. In your face.
I don't know about best, but you're definitely the most idiotic.
Yes. Good.
Anyway, so how this usually goes is we all bring a news story to the group and present it for conversation for the listeners to enjoy. After that, we move into a question that each of us has brought for the listeners to enjoy as well.
Jeremiah, can we give a teaser possibility question? Is your question going to be whose neck am I snapping first?
It's very possible.
I am so done.
I think that's going to become the title of this episode, guys. I'm just warning you right now. I think that might be the title. Anyway.
I like it.
Anyway.
Anywho. So, let's jump right into the news. Mikey, what is the news that you have brought us?
Well, I actually want to just say I've adopted a bird. His name is Steve. He is a glass bird. I adopted him like 2 years ago.
So how is that just adopted then?
Because as you would have actually never have known, he is actually an offspring of Anthony.
Okay.
How did you know this?
Anthony brought him to life.
How?
Like Anthony tickled it with his finger, and then it just started.
I'm just going to stop you right there.
I could have said something way worse, man.
Nope, we're done. We are moving on.
But in terms of news, now we're going to talk about Nintendo's Direct with their closing announcement. Now, this is the first Direct they've done in like 4 months ever since Mr. Iwata's passing. Rip in peace, you will be missed. And they had a Smash Bros. Announcement. DLC, it was inbound. Now, everybody was speculating it would be King K. Rool or Shovel Knight or somebody else. But no, it was a complete curveball. It was Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII as a playable character for Smash. No costume DLC, no nothing. He is the actual playable character who looks ridiculous.
I think he looks cool.
Oh, definitely. Jeremiah, since you have just jumped onto this conversation, why don't you tell us your thoughts about Cloud Strife and Smash?
I've only ever seen the release announcement trailer for him. mainly because I don't want to be ruined
That's all
by
I've got
watching
on
it.
him
I
so
want to
far,
develop
so-
my own play style with him when I do get him, because I am going to be getting him. I'm happy that we're moving away from the traditional Nintendo characters, because Final Fantasy is typically known as a Sony product.
Square Enix.
It's not published by Sony, but it's typically known as a Sony product. Like, it's affiliated. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
It is affiliated with Sony. I'm happy for that, because I think it's actually going to promote the Final Fantasy remake and remaster
Oh, that's going to be
that are coming out.
huge.
So, I like it personally. I can't wait to play as him. I think he's going to be an interesting character to play as.
Definitely.
Of course, and again, I like swordsmen in that game.
Which we have a lot of, don't worry.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, a little too many, but...
I only want one more. I want either Riku or Sora.
Oh, yes, please.
Anyway, now that I've given my thoughts, let's jump over to Aaron. What do you think?
I mean, who doesn't like Cloud's penis compensating sword? Literally, I never really cared much for Cloud. I really didn't. But it sounds cool, I guess. New addition to Smash, so that's cool.
Okay.
What about you, Anthony?
I am a little worried about.
Worried.
I'm a little worried about this. So, what's his name?
Cloud.
No, not. Yes, I know Cloud. But, damn, what's his other name?
Who are you trying to think of, Anthony?
From Xenoblade.
Oh, Shulk?
Shulk.
Yeah, I hope they don't make Cloud like in the same way they
Shulk
did
clone?
Shulk. Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
That's
I'm crossing my
reasonable.
fingers on that.
Yeah,
But other
I
than
agree
that,
with that.
I can't wait. I like Cloud, so I'm definitely gonna play him. But he's not gonna be my little Mac, because I already have little Mac.
True.
I hate mac and cheese. I really
I
do.
love mac and cheese.
Little
He's my
mac and
favorite.
cheese.
I prefer Velveeta.
I like Velveeta too. But yeah, that's my input.
Okay. Mikey,
Yes.
what do you think of this?
Now, there's one major question that a lot of people have asked since Cloud's release. And this is something I want Nintendo to release as like a statement or something with the release or something. How did they get these rights to put Cloud into Smash from Square Enix? It's Smash, but Nintendo getting those rights from Square Enix, and Cloud is one of their biggest icons from the Final Fantasy series, if not the biggest. It's so different. It's a huge twist to what they could do with Smash now, because if they put Cloud in now, it's who else can they put in at this point? Because they're doing a special December broadcast for Smash as well. So there is a big possibility we can get the results from the Smash ballot and get an additional, like, 3 characters or something. And
That's
the
what I'm
top 2
hoping for.
contenders.
I'm really hoping they put Kanji in.
That'd be cool.
I'd like to see a Persona character. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd
Yep.
be very interesting. But King K. Rool and Shovel Knight are the top 2 contenders. King K. Rool won the Smash ballot, and Shovel Knight has his amiibo. It doesn't say he's going to be in it, but it's all but confirmed to a lot of people. And I love Cloud for Smash. I want to say he's going to be a hybrid of Shulk and Ike. But I want to say the Limit Break is going to be an ability where it's used at a high damage percentage, like a Rage Active or something, because that would be too OP to use by itself, unless it has a very long charge time, because from the trailer, the Limit Break is ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
Lots
agreed.
of KO potential.
I can see it being like the KO marker for Little Mac.
Yeah, something like that.
Like where you have to
definitely see that.
damage or get damaged in order to raise it up.
Yeah,
I
there
can
you
see
go.
that.
Because just he looks very powerful. His recovery is ridiculous.
Agreed.
I'm very surprised they gave him that much recovery, jump, power. Like,
They might also nerf it too.
that's probably
So
going
who
to get
knows?
nerfed. Because with the Limit Breaker up jump, oh my god, it was too big. But I love it. It's ridiculous. Yes.
Fair enough.
Just yes. That's all that needs to be said is yes. Now, Aaron, I believe you have news for us today.
Yeah, I got news besides I'm done. Let's see here. My news is that a headline saying nostalgia is ruining video games.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I mean, that alone piqued my interest. Now, the article starts off by saying that majority, and this is from Gaming Psychology, majority of people that feel the most nostalgic is when they are doing socializing about video games. And they said, upon socializing and looking back at old video games like the Nintendo 64, NES, Super Sega, all that stuff, they said people are now looking at games today, like the Mario games and Nintendo games, and even PlayStation games. All these games that have been around since the 90s, 80s, and they're saying that the more games that come out for all these franchises, the less it holds in terms of value for those who have played games since the 90s.
Okay.
So they are saying that if they continue to make Mario, Kirby, heck, even Smash, they're saying that it's going to lose value to the point where people just won't care about the characters anymore.
Interesting.
That is something Jason would say.
Agreed.
I want to say, I don't want to cut anybody off by saying this. I've had discussions about Nintendo with Jason, like from the Direct, and Jason throws in like they need to do new stuff. Like they can't keep going back to Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, all that stuff. I agree to a certain limit because these franchises do still work. But at the same time, he makes the point, like, you know, if they keep doing it, that's all they've got going for them. They don't do anything new besides, like, their newest, like, independent project has been Splatoon.
Yep.
That's been successful, very successful.
So you're saying they need to do more new IPs?
That is what Jason says.
Okay.
Now, Aaron, go ahead and ask people and everything. I didn't want to cut you off or anything, but I wanted to throw that 2 cents in from Jason.
But anyways, what they're also saying is that streaming video games is also killing the nostalgia. Like going on Twitch, you see all of these people play video games instead of experiencing the game for themselves. They're watching someone else play it and watching their experience and just taking those comments and those things. They either agree or disagree, but they just leave it at face. So, Mikey, what do you think?
Now, I
Since he
do
already
agree with
started.
this to a limit. It's kind of like what Jason presents in front of me when I've talked to him about Nintendo's Direct and everything and just what his opinions were. I agree that Nintendo is really just doing these certain franchises over and over again to a limit, etc. Because they don't constantly come out with these new games. Like, it's usually bi-yearly. They'll come out with a new main series game or something. Like, Mario is, like, usually bi-yearly. Zelda is actually a lot slower, etc. But, while I do agree Nintendo could use some more IPs, because I'd be more curious, I want to consider Fire Emblem, for example, as something Nintendo needs to keep doing, because Fire Emblem games, they come out, like, every 4 to 5 years. At this point. Because only now have they restarted, you know, like since Awakening, now they're bringing back Fates. Because they left it dead for a long time because it lost interest. And Nintendo was like, okay, Awakening is going to be the make or break for the franchise. And what do you know, this entire hardcore fans and new fans alike, Awakening is a great game. Jeremiah, you can agree.
Yeah. Absolutely. I loved it.
And
I just had trouble with it.
Yeah, there you go. As somebody new to the series, it both comes back to the old fans and new people alike. If they did this kind of, I want to say, marketing strategy for, let's say, Mario, Zelda, all that stuff, it would be a little more effective, probably, because it would make people yearn for these old franchises to really show that it does still work. Instead of, you know, cranking out the old projects over and over constant. in a way. Now with Twitch, I want to both agree and disagree, like with the nostalgia argument. Yes, watching the games usually will kill off the vibe, but only the newer games will only arise for a while, because things like League of Legends, Binding of Isaac, Counter-Strike Go, those are the games that still go hardcore heavy because of popularity and just the people who do it, other stuff like that. You don't really see Nintendo projects being restreamed ever, unless it's, an occasion like cancer awareness, like speed gamers who speedrun games for cancer, everything like that. I've been talking too much, but those are my thoughts on it. Anthony, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on this whole thing is, so I'm going to go off of the last thing Aaron said and what you said about Twitch. So I've never watched anything on Twitch. I've usually watched stuff on YouTube about new video games or anything like that. When I look at it, I'm like, oh, this might be a game I want to buy. So it does a different impact on me than what it would do to other people being like, I don't want to play that game. But to me, I was like, oh, why not? For example, like I never played Oblivion before, watched someone play it, and I was like, oh, I'll go try that game out. Bought it, tried it out, I liked it. So.
I'm sorry.
But anyways, not the great, well, that's one of my examples, but there's a lot of examples. I don't feel like if you watch someone play a video game, it shouldn't have that impact, but for some people it does, and yeah.
Okay.
How about you, Jeremiah?
Aaron, what was the first part of that news story? Because I got the second part stuck in my head right now.
The first part was that gaming psychology said that majority of the time when people feel nostalgic is when they are socializing about old games.
I absolutely agree with that. I wrote a paper last summer to pass my English class, and I got an A on it, and my teachers and my classmates all said that I was right. And I said how playing a video game is actually the least amount of time that you do in the gaming community. You spend more time talking about video games than you do playing them. I mean, right here, we're talking about them for like the next hour and a half or so. Whereas you may play for hours on end during like the weekend or when you get home from work or get home from a date or whatever, or it is a date. But you spend more time talking about the video game than you do actually playing them.
PlayStation 4 and chill?
No. And then that last part I 100% agree with, where watching commentary and everything is kind of ruining games. I do agree with Anthony with what he said about going on YouTube and watching some Twitch here and there to figure out if I would like a game. But I hate commentary.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to sit there. I want to watch a little gameplay. I want to get a little bit of the story, and then I will decide if I'm going to buy it or if I'm not. I don't want to know your thoughts. If I want your thoughts, I'll ask for them. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
YouTube and Twitch is not what I want when it comes to that kind of thing.
I want to add to something really quick, Jeremiah, about what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
When I've watched the Telltale games on YouTube, I always go for no commentary, because Telltale games are something you cannot really watch with commentary, unless it's on a moment where you're roaming around trying to figure out a puzzle. Dialogue and talking over it or with it, it ruins it.
Agreed.
Anyways.
But, yeah, the whole commentary thing, and that's, I'm not going to throw you under the bus here, my friend, but we all know who I'm talking about here. What he does is he watches video games, and he develops opinions based off of other people's opinions. And I don't see that as a legitimate opinion. We've had this conversation many times before. So, I know he listens, so you know who I mean. You know who I'm talking to. You guys know who I'm talking about. You're allowed to develop an opinion. A game doesn't matter how short it is, because I've only played certain games for about 5-10 minutes, but before I figured out that I didn't like the game. But it takes a very, very special game for me to say, no, I'm not playing this thing for more than 10-15 minutes. But I do try to give every game a chance. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Aaron, what are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are that I honestly do agree with the article. I honestly do feel the most nostalgic when I'm talking about games and looking at all these games that are out today, like Super Mario Maker and all that stuff. It's like, that's cool and all, but it doesn't feel nostalgic to me, being able to just beat Bowser, do all that stuff, and now it's just like all these new games that they're coming out with, modernized games. It's not just Nintendo. It's also PlayStation. It's also Xbox. Like, I felt more nostalgic playing the older Halo games than the newer ones today. The newer ones today just feel like good story, but they don't feel like they are Halo to me.
Generic?
I wouldn't necessarily say along the lines of generic, but they just don't have the same impact on me.
Okay.
And it's just a big thing, in my opinion, that all these companies are losing just their touch on what made old games good and what these new games could honestly learn from the older games.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, every story, I think, needs to end. And that's what makes games so good in the past, was when they ended, you wanted to play them over and over and over again, just because you knew, okay, they're not going to have another part next year.
There are certain games, we've had this conversation before, and I still maintain that Mikey just does not want to admit it.
What?
That there is a story that that you don't want to go back to, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Like with me, yes, I will go back and play The Last of Us once every year. But I will not go back and play Journey ever again. Because it was such a special experience.
Yeah.
I will go back and I will play Persona 4 over and over and over again. I will not go back and play Persona 3 over and over and over again because my original story was those holy crap moments.
Yeah.
And that's what my story was, and I don't want it to I don't want to say it'll be ruined, but I don't want to say it, and I don't want to say it'll be tarnished, but I can't think of a positive way to word that.
There are just some games you don't want to play just because you feel if you go back to it, it won't have the same impact.
I guess, yeah. It's a good way to put it.
And it's just that way with like the newer games. Like you brought up Binding of Isaac, you brought up Undertale, you brought up all these games, and it's just like, those are modern. They don't have the same effect.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's mostly just my thing.
No.
So
everybody's got their own personal opinion. That's why I like doing this podcast.
Yeah.
It's a chance to share an opinion with everybody.
Well, to be fair, Undertale is its own project. It's nothing old or new. Well, no, not new, but
just
nothing...
like The Last of Us and Journey.
There you go.
But yeah, anyways, Anthony, what's your story?
So my story also comes from Nintendo Direct. And it's about the old red, blue, and yellow Pokemon.
Oh, yes.
What about it,
And-
Anthony?
Well, Mikey, if you let me explain before you interrupt me. But anyways, I think they're $10 a piece, right? That's correct.
I think so. I
We'll
can
go
double
off
check
that.
the price if you want.
Okay.
All right.
It's
Please
$12.
double check the price.
Yes.
$10
Anyways,
a
you go on.
piece. Anyways, okay.
Go on.
So, I would like to hear, Jeremiah, your opinion about this.
You have no idea how excited I am. Pokemon Blue was my very first video game. It is what got me started into playing video... Oh, that's not true. I used to go to a friend's house and play, I think, Smash Brothers. I think so. Every day after school, or most days after school. Anyway, my very first video game, I got it for my 5th birthday, on my 5th birthday, after everybody left, and I've told this story many times, so I've never shared it here. What it was everybody leaves my birthday party, and that was one of the best birthdays I've ever had. Actually, it is still my favorite birthday because I don't really remember my 21st. Just gonna say that.
Ha.
I like that.
Anyway, my 5th birthday, everybody left. It was nighttime. I was getting ready to go to bed. Then my mom and dad both sitting at the kitchen table. I'm getting ready to go to bed. Then they say, wait, there's one more gift. And they hand me this tiny little box with another box on top of it. And I open up the small one, and it's Pokemon Blue. I'm like, what? I open up the second one. It's a turquoise Game Boy Color. And I never looked back. I've been playing. I'm so excited to go back to those games. Pokemon Blue is the only Pokemon I have never finished, which is very sad. But I have finished Red, I have finished Yellow, I finished Leaf Green, Fire Red, so I've finished the Kanto region. It's just the blue one I think I got stuck in a glitch, and I didn't want to. It was in Victory Road, and I didn't want to restart. So then I picked up not Fire Red. I picked up Red, and I started playing again. So I am super excited to go back to these games. That'll probably be my summer, as I'll be playing through all 3 of those. Mikey, what do you think of this?
Now, as Anthony did not mention, because Anthony...
What?
But
What
first
did I
off,
forget?
they're $9.99. That's the
Okay,
Yes.
well, $10, whatever.
So $30 for all 3 games. Woohoo!
So, what makes this special, though it's coming
This
back
is-
to the 3DS, they changed one thing about it, and this was the best change they could have done, and the only change they should have done, which is great. Local battle and trading is a thing with other players. You can, if you meet up with your friends, you can trade Pokemon that are version exclusive and battle each other. Like, what on earth? Oh my god.
And you can also catch Missy No.
Shut up, Anthony. But, as somebody who's never played the original 3,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm interested. I might pick it up. Now, this was something I've discussed with many of my Pokemon friends on why I've never played the originals when I've had the opportunity. Going backwards from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald and forward, I've played Crystal. It's so mechanically different in the original 3. It's very different. I'm not saying that's not why I would play it, but somebody who's really only have stuck to the modern Pokemon games compared to the old ones who started off, it might be awkward to really play through with how different it will be.
All right, I'm going to interrupt you right then and there. There are only 2 things that are technically different in the gameplay from the Hoenn region compared to the previous regions of Kanto and Johto. And that is the running aspect and the movement of the Pokemon.
And moves acted differently as well, don't forget that.
Nope, not really.
Yes, really, actually.
It's the same rock, paper, scissors mechanic.
But things like
It's always
Wrap would
been.
incapacitate Pokemon to the point where they couldn't move.
They still do that now.
No? They actually don't, because Wrap now will, it just damages at the end of turn. Wrap cancels Pokemon
It can
moves.
still incapacitate them.
No, it can't.
I've had it happen to me. Anyway, I'm
Anyways.
not having this argument.
Anyways,
right
whatever. So I might pick one up. I'm going to think on it.
I hope you do.
Probably
Mikey.
do it.
Please do.
Probably battle Jeremiah.
Please do.
That'll be
Better
funny.
believe it.
And then I'll battle you, Mikey, and then you'll lose.
Okay, Anthony, we're doing this now. This is it, you heard it first in live, folks. Mikey versus Anthony, the ultimate battle here for the We
Mighty
All
Level
Idiots
Pikachu.
podcast. Place
The
your bets in the
ultimate- okay.
YouTube comments. Make your bets. Who's gonna win? Who's
Yeah.
gonna lose next year when these versions come out? Aaron, would you?
If
like
you're
to
not
give-
21, don't make a bet. Otherwise,
we're not talking
you'll-
about
you'll-
actual bets, Jeremiah.
Online
Who do you
gambling.
think will win?
Yeah, we don't need anybody to get in trouble.
Anyways, Aaron.
I'm extremely excited. I've played all 3 versions. I've never owned it. I remember my very first Pokemon game being Crystal, and then immediately afterwards, one of my friends that I met, still a very good friend with him, he said, "Hey, why don't you give the original 3 a try?" And I said, "Okay." And
It's a good friend.
oh yeah, I enjoyed those 3 immensely. I'm hoping to get all 3, and I'm honestly really, 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 really excited about it. I really can't put it into words. I just can't. It's just
Yeah, I'm
so
right there
good.
with you. There, I can't believe I'm saying this, and this might upset Anthony, but Persona this can't really go fuck itself. Persona can wait while I play through all three of these games,
Yeah.
and I can't believe I just said that.
Damn.
But it's
That
true.
made me cry.
Oh, shut up. You'll live.
That made me cry.
Okay, Anthony, what do you think then?
Well,
If Aaron's
before I
done.
Oh, is Aaron done? I guess he's done.
Yep,
So,
he's done.
I forgot to also add Mikey. It is the 20th. No, not 20th anniversary, is it?
No.
No, that's wrong. Scratch
Actually, I
that.
think next year would be the 20th anniversary.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
it should
think-
be. If my
'Cause it's
math
coming
is
out-
right.
February 27th,
Oh,
right?
it might be the 25th? No,
That's in Europe.
no, I
Japan?
think it's 20th.
It's either 20th
27th,
or
I thought.
21st.
I think
pretty
it's
sure.
21st at this point for
Okay.
that.
Anyway, Anthony, what do
Nope,
you
it'll
think?
be 20th.
What do you- Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay. What I think of it is, like, I really can't wait. Like, I'm happy that I started with playing Pokemon Red, and then I never got the chance to play Pokemon Blue until I found out my favorite Pokemon was Vulpix. It just touched me right in the heart. But now I can get all three. I could still do what I want to do, like go back home, play on my N64, and play on the TV if I wanted to, which I can still do.
Oh,
But it would be nice when I could take it on the go now,
there you go.
without bringing my Game Boy Color with me.
No.
And I'm excited. I can't wait to beat Mikey and win
but
all that
you're
money.
gonna lose, Anthony, and
No,
you're
you're
gonna
gonna
cry.
lose.
I
No,
can't
because all
wait
you
for this
can have is
matchup. This is
Caterpie.
going to be fun.
We're
I'm just
gonna
gonna
probably
stop
fun
you
to
guys right
watch.
there. I'm gonna stop you all right there. I think Jeremiah's gonna win it.
Don't.
Wait, Red's not going to win it?
Red's not.
Nope, Jeremiah's gonna win it.
Professor Oak? Professor Oak?
Professor Oak's gonna win it, guys.
There are millions of people better than me at Pokemon, but I must say I think I'm the best out of all four of us.
Yep.
Shots fired.
Yep, I said it. Get over it. Let's move on.
Wait. who
Anthony,
should
you
I
have anything
pick?
else to say?
You know, if you guys haven't watched yet, go watch Pokemon Golder.
Oh my god.
The sequel to Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Please. Pokemon Golder's great. Go watch it. It's
All
funny.
credit to him for making it.
One thing I will say, I hope they do this for Gold, Silver, and Crystal, though.
Ooh,
I do too.
that
I
would
hope
be
they I hope they do it again and again.
I'm hoping.
Oh, if
'Cause
they
I
do
would
it.
love-
If they do it immediately, I'm getting Crystal. I don't care about anything else. I'm immediately getting Crystal.
That'd be the
Yep.
version I get.
I'll be getting gold because that was my Johto game.
I'd say they have to wait for a while to make it really kick in. With
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
I don't want to see it for like 5 years.
Worth
5
the
to
wait.
10 years.
Yeah.
Every second.
Yep.
I'm waiting for my
Yeah,
Diamond
it's that
Pearl
creature from the box
remakes.
art. I would actually
Okay.
not mind getting Crystal.
Oh, Crystal. My very first Pokemon game. I'd get it in an instant, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they do Emerald, though.
Oh god. Emerald. Woo!
They copyrighted the name. They're going to do something with it. Even if they trash it, they're going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anyways. Mr. Maya.
So I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yeah.
Jeremiah, it's your turn.
Okay. So the news that I have is relatively new, and it's kind of Sony backward pedaling, kind of like Microsoft has done over the last couple of years. With the release of the first 100 backwards compatible games for Xbox One, PlayStation has confirmed that they are working on backwards compatibility for PlayStation 2 games on the PS4. Yeah, that's an older generation, but if you think about it, PS2 is the fastest and most successful console in the history of video games.
Woo.
And I don't have the exact numbers, but just take my word for it. Personally, I love this idea, but at the same time, I don't know, I'm starting to think it's a little late. Anyway, those are my 2 cents. I guess we'll come back to me later on. Mikey, what do you think of this?
Well, I know I can play Kingdom Hearts on my PS4 now, Jeremiah.
You don't have a PS4.
When I get it, damn it.
Yeah, if you get it.
Bob's head like pigeon, doesn't give a shit. Anyways, I think it's a great idea. Because, I mean, everybody was freaking out when Xbox did it. And it's like, why didn't Sony do that yet? Because you would think Sony would honestly do it first. Because that would have trashed Xbox a little bit. It would have been a black eye for Xbox if they did it first.
Oh, Xbox has plenty of black eyes.
Does it have Black Ops?
It does. But now Call of Duty is associated with PlayStation.
Ha! Rip. Anyway, I like the idea a lot. For somebody who doesn't have to buy 1.5 and 2.5 for Kingdom Hearts, even though I really want those versions personally, I can play the originals and play Kingdom Hearts. I'm still saying Kingdom Hearts 2.75 is coming out. Maybe, Jeremiah, maybe.
I will hold that until the day I die.
I mean, 2.8 though, kinda. I don't know, man. Anyways, what was I going with this? I like it. I don't have too many other PS2 games that could really backwards compatibility to PlayStation 4, but I mean, I could buy the original Persona 4 if I wanted to.
Persona 4?
Actually, no. I could
Persona
get freaking Persona 3 FES and backwards compatibility that.
And beat it.
Actually, there's no guarantee that every game is going to be able to be emulated. Just know that.
Still.
Oh.
If it's available, definitely go for it. But if it's not, then oh well.
Anyway, that's really.
That's it.
That's really it.
All right, Aaron, what do you think? What do you have to say?
Before I have what to say, I did confirm what you said, and PS2 has the most sold, 155 million consoles across the world. Xbox 360 only had 78.2 million across the world.
Thank you for checking those facts for me. Appreciate it.
But I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I agree. You're going back to the past and taking some games, and I have a feeling they're gonna make several people mad with just because several games won't be on there on the list and be compatible. But I'm just happy they're doing that. They're showing support of saying, all right, we understand what you guys are saying. We may not want to go back to the past and may look forward to the future, but we at least want you guys to be happy with knowing that you can have a little piece of your childhood with you today.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. What about you, Anthony? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on it, it will make me try new games, definitely. And whatever games they bring back, I'm cool with. If they do bring back Persona 4 or Persona 3, I'd be even more happier. But look how long it took Persona 4 to get to the PSN store on the PlayStation 3, so...
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. It's really nice to bring some games back that people who had a PS2 can look forward to when they upgrade to their PS4 or get their PS4 this Christmas, hopefully. If not, something bad's going to happen. But yes.
No. My 2 cents worth on this, well, more of my 2 cents worth, is I'm happy about it, but I don't really see many games that I'm going to be playing on it because the games that I grew up playing on the PS2 was the Ratchet and Clank original trilogy, Ratchet and Clank 1, Ratchet and Clank 2, Going Commando, and Ratchet and Clank 3, Up Your Arsenal. And I have all 3 of those on my Vita through a collection. And I think they play really well on it once I lock strafing. Other than that, I've played other PS2 games, but I don't see much else that I'm going to be playing because I'm planning on picking up a PS3 for Christmas. For Christmas, so I can play through Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 before they decide to announce Kingdom Hearts 2.75. I will maintain that until the day I die. But I want to play Kingdom Hearts. I've been craving to play Kingdom Hearts the last month or so. I'm happy that Sony's doing this. It's really saying that we hear what the gamers are asking for, and since our whole marketing behind the PS4 is this is for the players, I think it's the perfect way to say we hear you gamers, we hear you players, here you go. Those are my 2 cents worth.
I like that. I have one more thing to say. I wouldn't mind if they bring Jack and Daxter back to it. I wouldn't mind playing those games again. That's one thing.
Yeah, I didn't like those. They were okay. They just weren't my type of game.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to throw a curveball in here since we finished our questions.
Just
make it no ESPN.
Aww.
But I'm just going to throw a little bit of a curveball or a knuckle puck since I like hockey better. We didn't forget. I skipped it to do what are we playing right now? Or what have we been playing? So I'm going to pass it over. Aaron, what have you been playing?
Games I've been playing have been, obviously Fallout 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Life is Strange, NHL 16. I've gone back and played several PS2 games, including restarting my Persona 3 and 4. And I've also tried to play an old game called Aragon from the book series.
Yeah, the book. That's what I was just going to ask. The book series.
Yeah, they made a PlayStation 2 game of the movie and a bit of the book, so I've tried to play that.
The PSP version of that game was just god awful. It just was.
Yeah.
Mikey, what have you been playing? Actually, no, I keep going to Mikey next. Anthony, what have you been playing?
What was that?
That's the sound.
It's Mikey dying on Jupiter.
Okay.
Wait, now I'm on Jupiter? Oh, crap.
Yep.
Pass the
Wow,
popcorn,
that was
Jason.
really scary. I'm going to have nightmares after that. Anyways, what I've been playing. So far, the only game I've pretty much been playing this whole time is Persona 4 Golden. So, I'm liking that.
How is that,
No.
Anthony?
What?
How is it?
You know what? It's actually really great. I like a lot of the different aspects they have.
Yeah.
Especially
I'm gonna
compared to
I'm gonna call this out real quick. Quick 2-minute spoilers. So skip ahead about minute and a half, 2 minutes. But I want to hear where you're at, Anthony. I want to hear what you have to say about this. So everybody knocking the tables. You know the drill. Spoilers. So where are you at?
So I'm done with Risei's dungeon, so I'm not any further than that, but that's pretty much where I'm at.
Okay.
The one thing I do like is when you read a book, it shows you how far away you're done from reading that book and when you get to that experience. I also like how you can go out late at night, which you can't do in Persona 4.
Really?
I like some of the moves you can carry over to another Persona I like.
Okay.
Scooters is great. I love that scene. That was a
The
great
which scene?
Which scene?
The scene where they, when Yosuke's scooter breaks and he's like, no!
Oh, God.
I love that.
Yeah, that is a funny part.
It reminded me of Persona 3, the beach scene, which that's a whole nother thing that I can't
Yeah,
spoil.
that's a funny scene too.
Yeah. So that's all I'm going to say.
I think the
Mikey,
beach scene is a little bit better than Yosuke scooter breaking, but
Yeah.
You know what
Anyway.
would have been better?
what?
Jeremiah,
Okay, I think that's the ending of that 2 minutes. Am I right?
Jeremiah, I was going to ask you this one last thing.
Yeah. Go.
Did you, when you talked to one of the girls, did one of their boyfriends call you and be like, don't do
Yep.
this?
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
a
what
yeah,
the fuck?
What?
that's a automatic
What?
Yeah.
thing.
What?
Yep.
Is this a Persona?
Anyway,
get that?
spoiler over.
All right.
Okay, that is the end. That's the end of
Okay.
the spoiler about Persona 4 Golden. Not
Yes.
much of a spoiler, but if anybody's still interested in playing the game, which I highly recommend.
Same.
Yes.
So,
Make
is
sure
that
you
all
take.
you've been playing?
Make sure you take
Did
6
you
months
finish
to
Life is
play it.
Strange?
Yep.
What'd you think of Life is Strange?
What did I think of Life is Strange? After I beat it, I have to say this decision making, the final decision you make was the hardest for me because I did
Yeah.
not know what to do.
Okay.
And I don't want to spoil it anymore.
No, we're for the fans out there, we are actually going to do a full-on Life is Strange full season spoiler cast.
I'm up for that.
Okay?
Yeah.
That sound good to everybody?
Yep.
We're going to try to get Jason in on this too.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
So I forgot to ask Aaron about this. What did you think of Life is Strange? And I want to hear a little bit of your thoughts on Fallout.
For Life is Strange, I absolutely loved it. Loved every last moment of it. I thought it ended quite beautifully.
Okay.
Fallout, I love. I played Fallout 3, and I enjoyed that immensely. So moving on to Fallout 4 felt like it transitioned pretty smoothly. And
Okay.
the mechanics are pretty nice. Gameplay feels pretty smooth, pretty nice looking too.
Okay. All right. So I don't want to do this but I have to. Mikey, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing a few things actually, as if you would imagine. Anyway,
That's right. I heard you finished Persona.
Oh yeah, after like 6
Really?
months. Taking that
Congratulations.
sweet time on living the moment in Persona. Yeah.
Oh, it's about time.
I didn't finish as far
That's
as I
right,
wanted
folks.
to.
He finally finished Persona 4 Golden.
Holy shit.
Sadly, I got the default neutral ending where you can't really continue on, but I had no time to try and continue on.
So you got the answer wrong. That is why you got the false ending. Otherwise, you would have been continuing
I
to
know
play.
where I screwed up, but
And you believe me.
shut up, Anthony. Get out of here. Anyway, what I've been playing a little tad bit of Fire Emblem Awakening since I've gotten it back. I've been doing some DLC chapters because I could, and I was just bored.
Yeah.
Lots of Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. It's a very fun indie game. I personally recommend it. It's as a good time-killing game, and it has a lot of achievements to really, go for that make it rewarding. It's a nice little Zelda-referencing dungeon crawler, but it's very, if you're sensitive on the topics of religion, I'd slightly recommend from stepping away from Isaac, because it has a lot of religious references, but not exactly in the most.
I can vouch.
What?
I can vouch for that.
It's if you are very sensitive about that topic, don't go near it, especially if you're Christian, because it's against Christianity a little bit. But it's a very, very great game. It's very screwed up. Aaron and I played it. Jeremiah saw tad bits of it from it. It's a very screwed up game in its own ways, but it's a very, very strange game that can bring a lot of fun to people if you really like it or not. It's a selective game, honestly. Anyway,
It's like most games out there.
there you
If
go.
you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
There you go. I've been also playing Pokemon Reborn and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team because of my YouTube. Shout out to Mikey57 and King Stunfisk on YouTube. Go check him out. And also check out my SoundCloud where I'll drop my mixtape. I don't have a
God
SoundCloud.
damn it. No. Moving on.
Oh.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's really it.
Okay. Well, what I've been playing is... I can't believe I'm going to say this. Oh, this is painful to say, but I've been playing some Fallout 4 myself.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the other one.
Oh, I'll get there. That one's even more painful for me to say. And the sad part is the listeners don't know my rant, which makes it very hard for them to understand. But the reasoning why Fallout 4 has such a bad taste in my mouth for me saying that I'm actually playing it is because I don't like Fallout. I don't like the Elder Scrolls games. The only thing that I like that Bethesda has any relationship to is Dishonored. The reasoning why I don't like the Elder Scrolls is the glitches. Especially in Oblivion. I got stuck in a game-breaking glitch more than once, and I don't think I've told the story on the podcast before, but I got to, in Oblivion, you go through the first gate, and I can see the exit of the first gate, and I got glitched where I could see it. I'm like 300 yards away from it, or so, whatever the distance is, and I glitch in this one spot, and I can't move. I tried jumping, I tried crouching, I tried reloading the save. I even tried starting the game over, and I got stuck in the same spot.
Gross.
Yep. My problem with Skyrim was the glitches. Just usually I don't get glitches. Like when Assassin's Creed Unity, I love Assassin's Creed Unity, but all the glitches that everybody was talking about last year, I didn't get a single one of them. I never get glitches, or especially not game-breaking glitches, which is what I don't like about the Elder Scrolls. But I played Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Not extensively, but I played enough to know that I don't like them. Fallout 3, it didn't fit the way I was playing at the time. It didn't fit the kind of games that I wanted to play. And same thing with New Vegas. I mean, I decided I'd try New Vegas because I didn't have anything to play at the time. I returned it the next day. I just don't like those games, but I'm really enjoying Fallout. I really am, which is very surprising to me. And then the other thing that is leaving, I'm gonna need to scrub my mouth with toilet cleanser after this. I've been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Yes!
Dun, 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 dun. Dude, Jason's
And the only thing that's going to leave more of a bad taste than me saying that is what I'm about to say next. I'm enjoying it.
Yes.
Dude, I can't wait for Jason to hear this. He's going to be like, oh my god.
You guys know my problem with Call of Duty, and we'll save my rant for another time of why I don't like Call of Duty to begin with, but I'm really enjoying it. It feels like Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. It feels like the good Call of Duties. It feels a little bit like feels like a mixture between Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
I have a question.
And then added into a new sci-fi setting. I like it. It feels nice. It feels very smooth, and I know that's what Call of Duty does, but it feels very nice, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Now, Sony was developing this as well, right? Or was it just Sony?
No.
It was all Microsoft?
Treyarch developed the game. Activision published it. Sony gave them money to get the map packs, a month early, Aaron?
About a month early, yeah. So it's literally switched control from Xbox from years of being able to get stuff before PlayStation to now PlayStation getting it. And literally Call of Duty saying they are very, very happy that it's PlayStation now.
Yeah. They must have had, either they were required to say that or they had some bad experiences with Xbox.
I don't know. I think they're just happy.
Who knows?
Did Xbox touch them at night?
Who knows? Who knows what happened behind the scenes?
All I know is it's a nice change. It's a nice change.
It just wasn't.
It's the same kind of thing with Cloud. I doubt we're ever going to find out how Cloud actually happened.
Yeah.
Like how they ever got the permission or the want or anything other than maybe the smash ballot.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know.
You want to hear something funny about that?
We're just never going. I doubt we're ever going to find out the behind the scenes.
Jeremiah, you want to hear something funny about that?
Go for it.
Cloud didn't even make top 15 in the Smash ballot. They posted the results. He was not on the top 15.
Who were?
I will post the ballot in this chat, but we'll go into that another day. Okay. That's for something for you guys to
We'll also post it in the comments, too.
I'll post it in the description as well. Anyways, you guys keep going.
Okay, so that's what we've all been playing, correct?
I
Yep.
guess so.
All right.
Wait, why is that an I guess? The fuck, man?
Oh, man. Oh, the other game that I have been playing extensively, and I love this game. It's Rocket League. I love the game so much. For those of you who don't know, Rocket League is playing soccer with cars.
Honk honk, mofo.
It's one of the most, I don't want to say it's creative because I feel like I've heard of it before in other games, but it works so well. It's so smooth. Every aspect of that game works so well. And with the free DLC that they released earlier this month of Mutators, you can play with cubes now instead of balls, low gravity,
Oh, God.
a time warp. You can even build your own game and play that way.
Yes.
And then there's free DLC next week, or I don't want to say it's free because I'm pretty sure it is free, but I'm not 100% certain of where they're going to make it hockey. A hockey part for...
And if you people know Jeremiah, we know what game he's going to have too much fun with for the next, 20 years.
But I love Rocket League. Every aspect of that game works so well. I don't know if Aaron feels the same way that I do because he's been playing it too.
I love it.
That game is one of the best games I've ever played. It really is. Everything about it is so smooth. Anyway, so that's what we've been playing. I guess it's time for questions. Unless anybody has any objections. I don't care if you have any objections.
I have
Sucks to be you.
questions.
Wait, I have
No.
an objection.
I don't care if you have an objection. I'm
I
jumping
object.
over to Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron,
Wait, can I ask-
what is your question? I don't care if you have objections. Aaron, what is your question for the group?
Okay, I will gladly state my question to the group.
No, I'm kidding. Mikey, Mikey, what is your question?
Why is Anthony a little bitch?
Wow.
God damn it.
Okay,
Okay.
You knew that was
Okay.
coming too. That's
Okay,
the best.
Anthony, what is your objection?
My objection is to what Mikey just said.
Okay, then we're moving on.
I have
We are
an
moving
objection.
on.
I have one more
Aaron.
objection. My objection.
Okay, what is your objection?
I'm so done.
I have another objection.
I'm about ready to be done myself.
Oh, thank you. Anyways, my question is, if you could change one mechanic from your favorite game or game series, what would you change about it? So let's start off with Anthony.
If I could change one mechanic,
Out of your favorite game or game series?
I'm gonna have to pick. I'm gonna pick Persona. I'm gonna pick Persona 3, and it's gonna be off of actually what Jeremiah played Persona 3 Portable, and I'm gonna say the cruise control, which I think
The cursor.
the cursor.
Cursor.
The cursor. Yes, the cursor is the one thing that I did not like. It actually turned me away from even trying to play it
From what?
and trying to do the female.
Well,
Yeah.
Anthony, I'm going to interrupt you right there.
Yeah.
You also got to take into account that the PSP was not as powerful as the PS2. Yeah,
That's
2.
true.
So they had to figure out a way that you could dungeon crawl correctly and while still being able to play the game. So
Yeah.
I hated the cursor, but I got through the story, and personally, Persona 3 is one of my favorite games.
I like it. It's a
Yeah.
really good game. But that would be one of
That's the aspect that you would change?
I would change that, and yes, I would change the other aspect of I wish I could make it as powerful as a PS2, but that's in someone else's hands. And that is one of the aspects I would definitely change.
Definitely.
So, I'm going to go on to Jeremiah.
Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to go with The Last of Us.
Ooh.
My only problem with that game is when you have your companions with you and you're in a stealth moment and they're running around,
Hot
trying to get to cover or trying to get out of your way.
AI, basically.
It takes you out of the experience for like it only took me out of the experience for like half a second. So it didn't really truly affect my game because like The Last of Us is still the best game I have ever played. Rocket League, like I said earlier, I'm going to clarify, is one of the best games I've ever played. Just like Persona 3 is one of the best games I've ever played, but the best game I've ever played is The Last of Us. And my only problem with that game is certain moments with the AI. The AI is almost perfect with that game. Like you can't do anything. Well, you can do things better, obviously, but it's so beautiful. But that moment when you're going through the subway with Ellie and Tess. I won't spoil any more of the game because I feel like some people haven't played it. There's a moment when you're almost at the end, and that's the time that I remember the most of Ellie and Tess just running around while there's like 3 clickers and like 5 runners, and it just took me out of the experience for like a moment, and then I pushed through it. I got through it, and I feel like I had other moments after that, but that's the one that I remember the most.
Yeah.
So, mine would just be the AI,
Yes.
I guess. Aaron, does that work with your question?
Absolutely, that works.
Okay. I'm going to pass it over to Mikey.
Now, quick question. Can this be adding a mechanic as well as tweaking it a bit?
Basically, just changing it. It can be slightly like if you have to rope in one area. It's just like if you could just like change. Okay,
Right.
I'd rather it be like maybe not rope, but maybe like shoot across and you immediately zip line.
Now, this isn't probably going to answer the question, but this is something I'd like to see after playing Persona. Now, Pokemon, I'd like to see a bit of a change with the rival system and how they proceed with it. I'm not saying your protagonist needs to speak, but I'd like to see a social link kind of thing being added with your rivals, where you get more character development in Pokemon with these other characters. It's different. It's not something Pokemon would probably ever do, but it'd be interesting to get some development on other characters, like in X and Y, where they actually did more focus on the rival characters that you have, like the 4 of them. And you have moments with them, like really only 2 that you actually have one-on-one moments with. But like the scene, this isn't really a spoiler that makes anything big, but there's a moment where you're with a rival in this palace and there's fireworks going on and you're having that one-on-one moment. If there was a little more of that in Pokemon games, like coming up, like where characters one-on-one moments with other characters that mattered and really made something feel special. That's what I'm going at.
Okay.
Disagree, but that's something I'd love to see in Pokemon.
Okay.
Can I change my answer really quick?
Damn it.
Like, not change it completely. I just want to add something to what Mikey said.
Go ahead.
Like, it would be great if like, you know your rival in second gen of Pokemon, how he, like, steals a Pokemon.
Oh, God.
That'd be great if they could have that again, where someone does something similar but a little different.
Yeah.
In how your rival obtains the Pokemon, either illegally or legally.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
it's those kinds of moments where you could develop on characters. Like, that's what makes the rival in Gold, Silver, and Crystal special, is it's something nothing has really ever been... it's not been repeated in the slightest. It's a very different way of handling it, because the rival does not come off and does not stay as a perfect character in the slightest that you enjoy bumping into.
Okay.
The thing I would change mechanically, I don't think it's really a mechanic, but character development and how some characters are handled.
I think that's a gameplay aspect of it.
I'd love
Or
to
mechanic.
just see better character development. That's the one thing
Okay.
in Pokemon I wish. It's a kid's game, but at the same time, for lots of the hardcore fans that primarily take over the Pokemon industry as it is right now, if there was just a little more character development, it would be so much better in my eyes, because you'd actually get to feel like these characters mattered, instead of them just randomly popping up being like, hey, we're going to battle, hey, we're going to just sit on the sidelines and freaking talk about pointless information. Okay, bye.
Okay. All right.
Now, Aaron, what would you like to change in a game, mechanically?
One mechanic I would like to change, and I've been wanting this for a really long time, and I think it would have helped, was stealth aspect in Call of Duty. Yeah, you have missions where you have to kind of be stealthy in some spots, but I want like to be able to stealth like almost the entire game if I wanted to in certain aspects, like Black Ops. I felt like if they added a stealth aspect where, okay, if you screw up, then yeah, you have to go loud. But if you remain quiet the entire time, you could possibly just change the aspect of the game from just big testosterone-filled guys with guns blowing stuff up, Michael Bay basically getting his nightly boner, to basically changing it to somewhat of a Splinter Cell thing where you find out vital information without ever having to really pull the trigger.
Okay.
I like that aspect of just changing the game from just all-out warfare to stealthizing it and basically being the smarter soldier.
Aaron, does that mean Shia LaBeouf can be a playable character now?
No.
Oh.
He can be a playable villain and he can die right off the bat.
He will never be. You know what I want to see, though? I want to see in Pokemon where the rival takes a car, does a hit and run, and then runs into the Pokemon lab and kills everyone
What
there.
the fuck, Anthony?
There you go.
Oh my goodness, I am so done now. I'm so done.
That'd be great, honestly.
Okay, we are moving on right now.
Oh, God.
All right, Aaron, who's next? Pass it off.
Let's go with Anthony.
So, my question, guys, is do you like it when Hollywood makes a movie from a video game? So, I'm going to pass the stick on to my favorite person in the whole wide world, Jeremiah.
Oh! My heart's broken.
Sorry, Mikey.
My heart's
There has not been really either version where where Hollywood takes a video game and makes it into a movie, or the video game industry takes a movie and makes it into a game. Yeah, there's been exceptions here and
Super
there.
Mario Bros.
Big one.
Yeah, that's
superhero movies.
not the exception. That's the prime example of why it doesn't work.
Big one in superhero movies.
Yeah. The one that I keep jumping to for a success is the old Harry Potters, like on the PC. Like Harry Potter 1, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Those on the PC were fun. They were I mean, I read those books. I can tell you almost anything you want to know about those books. But those they were fun, but they weren't story accurate. Like, they had the basic overall arc of it. Like, Chamber of Secrets, Harry gets locked out of gets locked out in Platform 9 3/4, gets crashed into the Whomping Willow. If this is spoilers, I'm sorry, you're years late. This is past spoiler warning. Then stuff happens. Chamber of Secrets opens. La-di-da-di-da. People start getting petrified. Then the dueling club starts. Yada, yada, yada. Classes, yada, yada, yada. Then you go into then Ginny Ginny is quote-unquote abducted into the chamber. Well, she was, technically. Then you go downstairs. You go downstairs. Fight the Basilisk. Then you come back, and that's the story. it has the overall thing, but there's certain things like in class and other things that aren't in the books that are in the game, that aren't in the movies that are in the game, and I'm hoping that The Last of Us next year is the movie that we get that is is the first good. I mean, we've had decent ones, none that I can think of off the top of my head. First Hollywood interpretation of a video game that is good. I love The Last of Us, and if they screw that up, I'm gonna be beyond pissed. And I know I'm not gonna, and I know I won't be the only one. But with Assassin's Creed, whichever one, I think The Last of Us is gonna be the first good one. Personally, Mikey, what do you think of this?
Think of what?
The Hollywood aspect of video games.
Oh.
Genius.
Hollywood. Video games and Hollywood. Oh, that doesn't really mix. Last of Us is becoming a movie.
Uncharted.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed.
Uncharted's becoming. Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed. WoW. Oh, WoW's becoming a movie. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You know they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. They're going for
I
WoW.
have no real feelings on it. I mean, it's the Hollywood industry. Movies aren't exactly the most successful things nowadays. Like compared to the past. This is my opinion. I don't have anything to really say besides you have to be very delicate with a subject like a video game because you can easily throw the entire thing off and ruin it. It's a very delicate process.
It's kind of like the books aspect of taking a book and making it into a movie. Case in point is the Percy Jackson series. You guys, the director just destroyed it.
He's laughing his way to the bank right now.
No, he's not. That game, I mean, that movie was just terrible.
He's laughing at you.
Probably. Anyway, Mikey, is that all you have to say?
I mean, yeah, there's nothing really else to say besides if you screw it up, you screw it up, but it very much depends on the degree that you screw it up. I mean, I don't mind it, but my breath gets held a lot because you don't really want to hear about movies or video games becoming movies because it's been done before. Super Mario Bros. Cough cough, great movie, amazing movie. But
You better be sarcastic about that.
you know it. But it's not. No, we're just not even going to go into that because it's just not. Anthony.
You mean Aaron?
Anthony, Aaron, you're the same fucking people. You guys live in the same space. You're practically twins. Aaron.
Yeah.
What do you have to say on this?
I say it's more challenging to take a video game and then make it into a movie and actually either make it different to the point where it will satisfy people, even though not everyone's going to be satisfied. And I've already known
That's
for
true.
years. It's
That's true.
It's like people have been talking about it, like the same thing for like Call of Duty, like, oh, take Call of Duty Modern Warfare or COD 4 Modern Warfare, turn that into a movie, and it's just like, okay, you're gonna have to kind of change stuff around to not bore the hell out of the audience instead of just saying, okay, let's go play the game. It's the exact same thing. And I even talked to several people like, okay, if they did that, what would they change? They said, oh, they shouldn't change a thing. It'll be perfect that way. And I said, it's just going to be the video game just with real people. I don't see that working out. No. Same thing for, like, Last of Us. If they were to change the ending of Last of Us to where maybe it's just like...
Oh, they better not.
Exactly, and there you go. If they didn't change the ending, it's like you basically just have the whole video game just real person, and honestly, I don't see that working out very well.
And it's really condensed is really the biggest problem. It's figuring out what to cut and what not to cut.
Yeah, and that's the problem is, like, how do we get this character development without boring the heck out of the audience for a good 5 hours?
Yeah.
So I see more troubles with taking a video game and making it into a movie than the other way around.
But that's why I have so much faith in The Last of Us, because the writer, the director of The Last of Us, the game, Neil Druckmann, is also the writer and the director of The Last of Us movie.
Ooh, there you
That's
go.
why That's why I have faith.
See, I didn't add this, and I totally blanked about it, but that's something right there that needs to be done with these kind of video game movies. You have to have the writers, or just the appropriate developers, to be adding to this. Like FNAF. FNAF's becoming a movie, which is Five Nights at Freddy's. But they have Scott, who's the developer for 4 games for Five Nights at Freddy's, helping with the script and everything to make sure it's not completely trashed.
No. That's the biggest problem with the movies, with books being made into movies, is the writer really doesn't have a say. For the most part. Anyway, Anthony, what do you have to say on this?
So the way I came up with this question was actually one Christmas night when my aunt gave me this game called The Polar Express, which was a movie before it became a video game.
It was a book before it became a movie.
The book was great,
whatever.
By the way.
The book is. I bet you the book is great.
And they did.
The movie.
I'm not gonna lie. I think they did a really good job on the movie.
The video
Agreed.
game blew.
Oh yeah,
Video
Tom Hanks
game
was pretty
blew.
good.
Oh, definitely. Hey, did you got the Game Boy game, Anthony?
No, I got the GameCube game.
Oh, because I got the
Sucked.
Game Boy one. The Game Boy one
It
was
sucked.
great.
But
I
anyways,
like controlling the Polar Express.
Did
and
you guys
try-
ever play?
What?
Did you guys ever play the GameCube version of The Incredibles?
No, I didn't actually.
I played the
That was a
PS2
good
version.
game.
Was
It
it?
That was a
PS2
good
version,
game.
It was bad for the PS2. It was.
Oh, it was fun on the GameCube. I don't know if my friend Brandon listens to this, but he and I had a lot of fun with that game.
Wait.
I feel
Anyway.
I feel like they can do it at times. It works out, but sometimes it doesn't. Look at what's another great example? Mortal Kombat. Not a great movie.
No.
At all. The game is, if you like fighting games, of course it's a good game. But when you watch the movie and you're like a diehard Mortal
It's
Kombat
just
fan,
painful.
it's just painful. It's like your eyes are bleeding out of your socket. Just like if they try to make a Pokemon movie, not the anime, but an actual live-action Pokemon movie.
Oh, you know what would be a good argument with that then? Origins.
Well,
Yep, agreed. On the
Origins was a
aspect.
great success.
that was.
It
But
was
that also wasn't a movie either.
true, but it could be combined into a movie if they
It was.
really
It's
wanted.
longer than a movie, so
It was two.
I
It was
disagree.
4 30-minute episodes, but it
Really?
could have easily been compiled
okay.
into a movie if they wanted.
yeah,
to.
definitely. Then I
It-
must have had my time. I must have had my time stamps off. My mistake.
No, you're fine.
But I also feel that like Hollywood should stick to making movies. Like they should sometimes make movies from video games, but they shouldn't spend their time doing that. They should do what they're good at doing.
If they're
and
If
kinda
they
leave
get-
it alone.
If they get the right people to do it, then I say go for it. But if you can't
exactly.
get the right
And
people,
give up
then
on
don't
it.
do it.
If you
Give
don't
up
have
on
the
it before
company
you
or the
start.
developer working with you, it's not going to work that well. It most
My
likely
case
will
in-
not work.
My case in point of this is Aragon. The movie was just terrible. I love the books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie was just awful.
And why was it
And
awful?
then it was inaccurate. It was stupid. It was wrong. It was inaccurate.
So it didn't have the writer with it.
Nope.
There you
Didn't-
go.
It didn't have Christopher Poloni. It did not have him.
There you go.
Nope. And then the game. The game just took the movie and it was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
it was
that's-
like, we're just gonna stamp this name on, make some character models, and then whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I felt when I watched Aragon. And
Now the JRPG, on the other hand, the turn-based JRPG, like Final Fantasy style, where you have
Yeah.
like the group of people with it, that was a decent game. I think it was on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I had that game, and it was
It was decent.
Oh, it went from the book. It honestly went from the.
Yeah.
See, there you go. Like, if you can't... The thing with Hollywood is you can't do these ideas like basing it off of a book or a game especially, without having the creators or help assistants with it. Because if you do it blindly and don't do a research or stay true to it in most aspects, because some movie changes are acceptable in a lot of ways, but if you don't
Well, yeah,
do that,
you have to cut things down.
yeah. Or just change little moments, like from the book.
You have to cut things down. You have to reintroduce things in the right way.
Yes.
You have to take, for The Last of Us, they have to take a 16, or in Anthony's case, a 24-hour game, and put it into 2 hours.
There you go.
Need the writers, or it will not work unless you really know what you're doing and are very confident in what you are doing. Even then, it can still end up as a train wreck. Super Mario movie.
I think we all need to plan an outing to watch The Last of Us together.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Let's do that.
Yes. Whenever the movie comes
Because
out, we will. I want to say we should get
Summer or
opening
fall.
night. Opening night.
Oh, I'm going to opening night. I don't care what anybody says.
Anyways, sorry to step
Hey.
on that, all of that. Anyways, whose turn is it?
But I was going to also say about one thing about the Aragon. When I went to go see that movie in theaters, I felt like I wasted so much money that I felt I could slap someone instead and get better enjoyment out.
Agreed.
Especially the villain sucked dick.
I disagree. I think the villain is the one thing that they got right.
You think so?
Yeah, and compared to, I don't... Aaron, you read the books, right?
Absolutely.
Of course you did. I saw them on your bookshelf. But how did you feel about the villain, the Shade?
I thought they were spot on with that. Everyone said they hated the battle between Saphira, the Shadow Wyvern, the Shade, and Aragon. I actually quite enjoyed that. I liked it. I mean, it didn't go according to the book, which that was a downer, but the battle itself I liked.
Yeah, if we hadn't read the books, I think the battle would have been so much better.
Oh, yeah.
But I liked how they portrayed the Shade and the Shadow Wyvern, was it? It was just... It wasn't... I'm not going to say it was spot on, but it was pretty good. I don't know, that's the one thing that I felt they got right. That and the character development of Braum.
Yeah.
Other than that, that game was just crap. I mean, that movie was just crap, and then the game was beyond crap. That was crap's crap.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the next question. Mikey, right?
Oh God,
Yeah.
This is gonna be fun. Now this is a really interesting question that might cause bickering between both viewers and us, depending. It might also have unanimous agreements. What game or game...
Hold on.
Yes.
Please, if you have comments, post them on our Facebook. Start a conversation.
Also on YouTube. We will know when it happens on YouTube.
Please be respectful, though, in the comments. Please. That's the only thing I'm going to ask.
Be civil.
Yes, civil. Anyway, Mikey, what did you have to say?
What game or game series do you wish was never invented or developed, and why? This is a really, really strange question, but I'm actually wanting to start with Anthony. Anthony, please give us your thoughts on this. What do you think should never have been invented, or like just what should never have been?
Invented?
Yeah, let's go with
man,
that.
there's like a list of games I could go with that's just suck. But I'm gonna go with what was one of the games? I'm gonna go with Duke Nukem Forever.
Really?
Yeah, I really think they should have never made that game at all. It's a waste of money they put into a game like that. Sorry if anyone's out there that actually likes that game. I'm sorry that I'm hurting feelings right now, and I don't give a shit. But anyways, I'm fine with saying that Duke Nukem, especially looking at some of the gameplay of him, I'm like, really? Come on, you guys could have made a better game instead of this garbage. So that's the game. I was thinking about Phoenix Wright and his video games, but
Whoa.
So
All right.
I think they blow. He sucks as a character in the fighting games too. Anyways, that's just my spiel.
Okay.
I'll go on to Aaron.
Okay, so game series I wish was never made.
Or just an individual title. I'm not going to limit you to the
Alright,
entire
okay.
series. It can be within a series to make it easier. and a little more understanding. Anyways, go ahead.
Uh, I, honestly, I think the game title, and we mentioned it earlier, has got to be Aragon. Completely just ruins everything that I thought about Aragon until I actually got back to the books.
Okay. Understandable.
Agreed.
Yeah, you guys already heard us bicker about it and be just like, destroy it, burn it with fire,
Yeah.
let it burn in video game hell. So, yeah, there we go.
Jeremiah.
Okay, I am going to have a very different say in this. Every video game has a purpose for when it was being made. I would not change a single thing, even Black Ops 2. No matter how much I hate that game, and for the listeners, I will have my rant on somewhat later episodes, so stay tuned. But even that game, it showed me that I don't have to buy every game out there. That game came out when I was buying everything. That's part of the reason why I hate it, but there's plenty of other reasons. And like I said, stay tuned for the full rant. But Aragon, it showed video game developers that you're not supposed to do this anymore. I hated that game with a passion, almost as much as Black Ops 3. Again, stay tuned for my full rant.
But it taught you something.
Exactly. It taught the gaming industry. It taught the fans. It taught Hollywood what not to do. Even Fallout. Like, I don't like Fallout. I don't like the Elder Scrolls. But I'm not going to wish them not to exist because I don't like them. Because there are plenty of people out there that do enjoy them, or for those games that are crap. Like Aragon. I won't say Black Ops 2 because a lot of people love that game.
The Barbie series?
It helped the industry grow. So I would not have eradicated any game whatsoever in history at all.
Okay. That's very understandable. Very valid.
So, Mikey, what are your thoughts on this?
On my game that I want to cut, or just that answer?
No, on your question.
Oh, well, I have two games. Now this is a big majority opinion by a lot of people that these games never should have been. Now, we're gonna go into the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Now, not the series as a whole, but it's had a very interesting last few years. We had Sonic 06, Burn It, way too glitchy for everybody's taste, and just it caused a lot of, I don't want to say controversy, but weird opinions, and just it was very good. No. And then you move on to Sonic Generations. I've played it. It's a nice change from 06. But the one thing that never should have been invented, and this is something that they tried to do different, but it ended in a train wreck, we have Sonic Boom. No.
Okay.
Just no. No, you don't. This is Sonic the Hedgehog changing the series, okay. That's a good, I mean, it's an idea. But the way Sega handled the change, they did say it's an alternate universe or some garbage like that. So that literally saved them. Because if the Sonic Boom changes were actual, like, legitimate series changes, they would have probably lost a lot of support and money from those changes, from the fan base and just all that stuff. Because a majority of thoughts on Sonic Boom is it is garbage. It is very much garbage. The changes to characters are pretty stupid. Prime example, I'm sorry, but Knuckles, if you've played the original Sonic games, he's like he's one of the smarter characters in the series. And then you change him into being a big fucking knucklehead. Let's go with that. Who has no brains but all brawn, and it's like, really, Sega? Really? Now, my Sonic thing is, my favorite game from the Sonic series is Sonic 2 Adventure Battle. So much fun. Great game. I'd highly recommend if you somehow got it.
I will agree with Mikey on that.
It's a great game. It's a very fun game. It's not Sonic Heroes where you get to play as like different clans, but it's you get to play as individual characters. Anyway, I don't want to sound like that weird kid on the block who's like into the Sonic series and like it's like leave Sonic alone.
Too
But
late.
as somebody who's played some of the older Sonic games and has sadly had to see these things and experience them, kill me please. And who has liked the Sonic...
I'll be in shortly.
Yeah. Just no. We're just going to go with the word no.
I'll be third in line after Aaron.
Now,
Okay.
Jeremiah, would you like to close our question discussion with what you have to say? Because your question's very interesting.
I can't wait to
That's
answer.
right. My question. So, the question that I have brought... crap. Up there it is. I remember now. So my question for you fellas, and even for our listeners, like I said, again, please tweet at us, post on our Facebook, get involved in the conversation, please. We want to hear your comments. But my question is, how long do you give a game before you, quote-unquote, give up on it? Like you stop playing it
Okay.
because it's not for you? I've already touched on this a little bit myself, so I'll keep my answer short. But let's start off with Anthony.
What game? I mean, how long?
Yeah,
So
how long? How long do you give a game before you give up on it?
Okay. So I'm going to measure it by doing this. I wouldn't put, this is just me saying this, I wouldn't put, like, being 80% done with the game and be like, oh, I'm going to give up on it right away. Just because that's just not the way I play, and I feel like that would be just a waste of time on a video game. I give, depending on what kind of video game it is, if it takes 5 minutes to figure out, that's a better thing than putting in 80 hours or 50 hours or 40 hours or whatever many hours and being like, oh, I'm just going to give up right now. Like, you should just at least finish it. I know it's hard, but you just got to push through it. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely my take on it. So I'm going to pass the stick on to Mikey.
Thank you. I was actually hoping you would. I'm very much agreeing with Anthony what he has to say, but I'm going to twist it a little bit. I'm going to go into games that I played as a child. Now, this is something that I've done before I really knew what games I liked. Now, we're going to dive a bit into the Spyro the Dragon series. It's a very, very old series and a childhood classic to a lot of older generation game players. It's a great game. But then they started to, develop more on it. Now, Spyro 2, this was when I was like 7 or something, probably. Ripto's Rage. I played through it. I got to the final area. I had no idea how to progress on. I tried every little thing I could, and I could not do it. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. Couldn't do it. Can't play it. This was before like game guides and everything was invented and stuff that you could really easily like dig up on like YouTube or something.
Yeah.
Now that's my thing. Now another would be one of the newer game, or not one of the newer games per se, but it was I want to say either for the PlayStation or the GameCube. I can't remember which. But I played one of the other Spyro games, and I could not get far into it because I lacked interest. It wasn't appealing. Gameplay was not fun. If gameplay does not take off within a good 20, 30 minutes, the game's dead for me. I can't enjoy it. There's no way to play through it with it being enjoyable. Like, you have to take, for me, it really just depends on what mechanically and story-wise that goes through the game. If it keeps interest, it's good for me. I will play through it. If it loses interest, if it just doesn't make sense, if voice acting, just little things, like the mechanics just suddenly turn off and just start malfunctioning completely from what you've been introduced to, it's like, why am I playing this still?
Okay.
So it just depends on what is going on in the game that would ruin my interest. If I would not play a game if I was not interested in it in the slightest.
Okay.
Yeah, that is basically my spiel. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not gonna waste my time on something that doesn't keep me interested, I guess. Or just
Okay.
doesn't mechanically play well, because it's not fun trying to figure something out mechanically that just doesn't want to play right, I guess.
All right.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Anything else, Aaron?
I've yet to honestly give up on a single game. I have never quit from a game. Every game I've played, I have completed.
Okay.
Even though I've wanted to quit at times, I have never quit a game without completing it.
Okay.
Like, I think the game I have come closest to actually quitting was Pokemon Fire Red. Just because I felt like I couldn't do it. I would get to the fourth gym leader, and then I would, well, not fourth gym leader, fourth Elite Four member, and then I felt like I just couldn't do it. Yeah, I felt like I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
And then-
Lance is a bitch.
That was me with the rival, with the champion. I couldn't do it.
I mean, like, exactly that. It was like, I knew, I had already known that I was going to have to face my rival since he was going to be the champion, and then when I actually beat Lance, I'm like, okay, I'm probably just going to lose the next one. So I just full restore all my Pokemon, revive them, all that stuff, make sure their moves are all good.
Mm-hmm.
Go in, and I actually beat him easier than I did Lance.
Yeah. That's
So-
understandable.
And one day I tried Lance 5 times. 5th time I actually beat him, but those 4 times, every time I began to have more and more doubt. Like, am I going to have to restart the game, do all that bullcrap over, just to get back to that same spot and lose again?
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
So that was probably the closest I ever came to quitting a game.
Fair enough.
And I can definitely.
What? Anthony?
What? Your mic cut out, bud. Okay.
Anthony, R.I.P. Rest
Yeah,
in peace.
man.
Oh, there
I'm
he is.
back. I'm back.
There
I'm
we
back.
go.
So I'm gonna go off of what Aaron just said and say that I have that problem with Gold and Silver with his 3 appropriate level Dragonites. Don't like those at
Yeah.
all. So you learn a valuable lesson with full restores.
Yeah, you do.
Very true.
Oh,
I don't like those full restores.
damn it. I'm now kicking myself, guys. I'm sorry.
Why?
I remember a mechanic change I would actually prefer to go back. And I'd love to answer that really quick if you guys don't mind. Because this is actually a mechanic I would love to see changed. If you guys don't mind, of course.
Let's finish the topic.
Go
at
for
hand. Anyway, Anthony, finish your thought.
That was my only thing I was gonna add to Aaron's thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Yep.
All right, so I guess it's my turn now.
Yep.
No.
We haven't finished the topic, genius.
But.
I don't care. We haven't finished the topic. We'll finish. We'll end on yours, okay?
No, I'm joking. Go ahead, dude.
Okay. Me, it's not the time that you spend on the game. It's the percentage of the time that you spend on the game. Mikey, we've had this conversation. We've all had this conversation in the purple chat of you don't put 60 hours into a game and not finish it.
Yes.
Especially when you're in the last 20% of the game.
Remember when I
Yep.
said as a child?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only real time that I've really, dropped a game completely.
Mhm.
Persona 4 I had to finish or else my nose would have not been here today. Jeremiah would have made
Yeah.
sure.
I'm like Aaron. I've only, up until I got my 360 like 2-3 years after. For the third year that I had my 360 was the first game that I dropped. And I
Whoa,
stopped
Jeremiah,
playing
whoa. Your
since
mic is
Pokemon Blue.
Your mic was cutting out for me really hard there. Shit. Could you repeat that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go right ahead, repeat that, because it lost quality.
Oh, I'm sorry. When I first picked up my 360, I played through every game that I could. Up until, like, after I had it for 3 years, I finished almost every game. The game that I dropped, it would have been Fallout 3. That was the first game that I dropped since Pokemon Blue. And that was because it just wasn't for me. I try to give a game as much time as I can. And there's this conversation going on in the gaming community of what is king, or the most important thing in a video game. Is it story? Is it gameplay? Is it any of the other things? For me, it's story. I will push through bad gameplay like I did with Fire Emblem. I hate the gameplay in Fire Emblem in order to experience the story. The only reason I stopped is because I hit a wall.
Literally.
Of something that I could not do. Yep. I hit a wall that I could not overcome. But when I dropped Fallout 3, it's because the story did not have me. And the gameplay was crap. Yeah. I try to measure it in terms of percentage. Really. You don't want to give up on a game right away. I like to give a game a fair shot.
Yes.
I played all the way through Black Ops 3. So I know why I hate it. Stop it, thank you.
No, I don't wanna.
Nope. No, I'm talking my chest. Kind of had a hiccup caught. Anyway, I like to think of it in terms of percentage and how you feel. I think it takes about an hour or less to figure out. 1 to 2, maybe 3 hours to figure out if you like the game or not.
Definitely. I do agree with that.
For me, it's more of the percentage that you put into the game. Like, you put in about 80% into Persona 4, and you would not play. That's why I made you finish it. Aaron, I envy that thing of not ever leaving a game unfinished. I used to be like that. Hell, I used to be like that with books. And then, oh crap, what did I stop reading? I don't remember what book I stopped reading halfway through and have not gone back to.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it was Allegiant. I have not finished Allegiant yet. So that's a recent book. Oh. Well, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, some book I stopped reading a while ago, and that's really what kind of threw me down the hill. Kind of like when Fallout 3 kind of pushed me over the edge of me not finishing games.
Hashtag book problems.
Mm-hmm. But I like to give a game a fair shot, just like that. I like to give just like I like to give a book a fair shot, just like I love to give a TV a fair shot. Movies, I don't really give fair shots to because I don't like movies.
You like Spectre?
That's a whole other conversation. I like certain movies, but I don't like movies as an overall thing.
Fair enough.
I don't like the form of media that it is. I really don't know how to explain it without thinking it out. That'll be a conversation for another episode. Anyway.
It's Mickey Mouse.
That's how I feel about it. That's how I
Mouse.
feel about it. Like, this is going to get me so much hate. I given BioShock. I cannot get through BioShock. Oh, that was the first game that I did not get through. That's the first game that I dropped since Pokemon Blue. Was BioShock, the original BioShock. I tried that game, I think I'm up to 7 times now. I'm still trying to beat it.
Why can't you beat it,
But I
Jeremiah?
just can't do it.
Why not? Jit.
Real bad.
Could you repeat that, please?
Your mic cut out real bad.
Yours is doing that right now, too.
Oh, great.
Let's try that again. Wait, what were we talking about? Crap.
Bioshock.
Yes, why can't you finish it, Jeremiah?
I don't like the world. I don't like the story. I don't like the gameplay. Well, no, that's not true. I don't like the gameplay. I love the world. I don't like the story.
Okay, got it.
That's my biggest problem. And like I said, the story is king to me. It is the most important thing in a video game.
There you go.
A video game is an interactive movie or a visual book. Take your pick on that definition. I can go more in depth on those, but I don't feel like
Another time.
it at this time. Exactly. A lot of another times on this episode, huh?
We're promising
Especially
a lot of
from me.
things, guys. We're popular.
Yep.
With like 2
Big
people.
promises.
We're setting you guys up to stay with us.
Now you guys have to listen to us.
Forever and ever.
I agree.
Now, I want to
Okay.
touch on this really quick, and this will be like a 2-second change. Get rid of the EXP all in Pokemon. The end. Okay, moving on.
Okay, I disagree with that, but that is your opinion, so I'm going to leave it at that.
Wait,
Anyway, so anybody else? This has been the 6th episode of the We Are All Idiots podcast, entitled
I
I
am
Am
so
So Done.
Yes.
I think I'm going to make that a new thing.
That's going to be the
I like
quote.
it.
That's our catchphrase. That is
No,
our
I
literal podcast quote, is I'm so done.
I don't know.
Maybe. For
Maybe
right
we'll
now.
we'll discuss it.
For
We'll
right
discuss
now.
it. But I like it. I like it so far. This has been the 6th episode. Thank you for listening to the Purple Crew. Anybody have any housekeeping notes?
We're not
I'm
actually
so-
purple, we're orange.
I'm still so done.
I agree.
Did you
By the
know
way,
carrots are
the
good for your
catchphrase.
eyesight?
You lied to me.
Why wait?
When I grow up, I want to go to the moon.
Why wait?
For those of you who don't know, that is ASDF movie.
Oh,
Go
I'm
check
look-
those out if you
I'm
haven't watched them. They're funny.
I just want to add, Anthony died. Rip in peace.
Yeah.
Insert MLG
so
Sap
sorry.
Island here.
All right, so I guess he doesn't get to...
My internet went down.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
rip
So,
Anthony.
like the Titanic. So I think it was all because of Mikey that it went down. Mikey, you destroyed me and Mr. Awada now.
I will kill you.
Okay. Anthony, any housekeeping notes you would like to make?
I want to say this. Mikey, when you play Persona 3, if you take 5 million years, I'm going to be very disappointed in you.
Probably gonna take me that long to order it.
Why it's going to take that long to order? Because he can't buy shit.
I will hurt you.
That's not true. If he would have stopped buying magic cards, he'd be able to afford more stuff.
Nerd! So
Okay, Jeremy.
Anyway, Mikey, any housekeeping notes?
Well, one, we're not purple. We're
I know
orange.
you have more housekeeping than the rest of us.
Two, did you guys know that we actually have bananas on our heads?
You lied to me.
And three,
Don't worry, folks. I'm going to make Mikey wear a dunce hat later today.
dude, yes! Perfect! Dude, we have to take a picture of that and post it on our Facebook.
Photoshop that
I
one
like-
of when he's looking at the orange slices. Photoshop
Oh, no! No.
Maybe. We'll see.
Also, three. This podcast today has been sponsored by the letter H.
No, it
I
has
hate
not.
you so much.
No, it has not.
No. It has not. Don't
Yes, it
listen to
has.
him.
Okay, I lied. It's been
Mikey, any plugs, housekeeping, either that or I'm closing it out.
Burritos.
Son of a bitch.
I'm so done.
All right, I'm
Ended
closing
on
it
that
out.
note.
Mikey,
I am
you
so
don't
done.
get any more plugs.
Wait.
I am
So,
so done.
thank you for listening
Pancakes
to
are good for anti-wrinkles.
I'm so done.
Mr. Krabs.
Aaron,
His
I am
hat
so
was
done too.
number
So
one.
I am calling
So done.
this. Thank you for listening to the 6th episode of the We Are All Idiots podcast. please come like us on our Facebook page.
This
I
will
will
be
have a
linked
Twitter
in the
page up and
description
running
below.
soon. Post, comment, please have a conversation. If you have a question that you would actually like us to address, send it to us.
If you are concerned about why Mikey's on this podcast, please verbalize it. I don't know why I'm here either.
I don't either.
No, but we are paying attention to this Facebook and our YouTube comments. We will discuss if need be, and address any comments or concerns or questions or just silly little comments like why Anthony's a little bitch.
All right, I'm done. Please start thinking of what
Try
you
to
would
learn
like
how
us
to
to
talk,
discuss.
man.
Shut up. You're one to talk.
Ha! I get it. Get it?
Yeah.
Learn. You're one to talk.
Yeah.
Ha!
Yeah, I get it.
Ha, ha,
Moving on.
ha.
Next episode in December of 2015, we are going to do a discussion on our game. We're not going to announce our game
Our
of the
game
year
of
until
what?
January, but we are going
You
to
cut
have a
out, Jeremiah.
discussion.
Game of what?
We are going to have our discussion for game of the year in December.
Also, did you guys know it's going to be our holiday episode, and Jeremiah's going to love me constantly bring Christmas references throughout the episode, so he gets to dread for that next month.
I am so done.
I'm done. We're done. This has been episode 6.
Jingle
Start thinking of your
bells,
game of the
jingle
year
bells,
nominations.
jingle all the way.
Send us your nominations. We'll discuss them.
Deck the halls with bounds.
Son of a... All right, I'm done. Thank you for listening.
We need to go to Mikey's house.
Goodbye.